Mangwana ni Malelepo Vukenja ni Kleklas Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Mberi on Tuesday, the 4th of February. And today we pause to honor the memory of Namibia's late former president, Dr. Hage Geingob, who passed away on this date last year. Now, Dr. Geingob's legacy continues to inspire us all. As we reflect on his remarkable contributions to Namibia and the continent, we remember his words: inclusion is not a privilege, it is a right. May his spirit of resilience and dedication to justice live on in our hearts and actions. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Today, we're going to be looking at several stories, including Cyril Ramaphosa's response to Donald J. Trump, and we'll also be commemorating World Cancer Day. This is Africa Good Morning. Top story shortly.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na. Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures.
President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa has responded to his United States counterpart Donald Trump's decision to cut financial support to South Africa. The U.S. president announced on Sunday that his administration would halt all funding to South Africa after Ramaphosa signed the Expropriation Act. Trump accused South Africa of treating certain classes of people very badly and stated that no funding would be released until his administration had investigated the matter. Responding early on Monday, Ramaphosa emphasized that South Africa is a constitutional democracy deeply rooted in the rule of law, justice and equality. The South African government has not confiscated any land, he clarified. Ramaphosa expressed his eagerness to engage with the Trump administration on South Africa's land reform policy and issues of bilateral interest. We are certain that out of those engagements, we will share a better and common understanding of these matters, he stated. While acknowledging the United States as a key political and trade partner, Ramaphosa suggested that the broader financial impact of the funding cuts may be minimal. Cancer is a growing global crisis, touching lives in every corner of the world. Today, Namibia stands united with the international community to commemorate World Cancer Day, a powerful reminder of the urgent need for awareness, prevention, and action. In a compelling studio discussion, Rolf Hansen, the visionary CEO of the Cancer Association of Namibia, sat down with Glenora Shipura to shed light on the most prevalent cancers affecting Namibia and Africa. Together, they explored groundbreaking treatments, life-saving preventative measures, and the collective effort needed to combat this relentless disease.
The incidence of cancer is on the increase around the globe, and today Namibia commemorates World Cancer Day along with the rest of the world. In studio today we have Rolf Hansen, the Chief Executive of the Cancer Association. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, thank you for inviting us.
It's a pleasure having you. Now, getting right into it, I do understand that World Cancer Day theme for the next 3 years is titled or is under United by Unique. Can you tell us a bit more about this focus area?
So the theme is focused on the individual, the treatment and the support of the individual, because for so long, I think we've all been speaking of treating cancer and treating the disease and fighting the disease, and it's all about the disease. And I think our patients they've become lost in all this turmoil. So United by Unique aims to bring us all together and to say that we have to stand together, but we have to celebrate the uniqueness of each one of our patients. And I think there are many of our viewers out there who will confirm that they were just part of a group of people that were treated. Their individual needs were not met, and this is what we're trying to address.
So you're addressing the person who's an individual with unique needs and wants.
Because there are
and
different cancers.
Yes.
Different cancers, different households, different cultures, different lifestyles, different opinions. And each one responds to a cancer diagnosis and a cancer treatment differently. So the blanket treatment option is no longer working, because your mindset needs to work together with the body to go through the treatment. And you might be telling Afrikaans lady with a PhD from Swakopmund, you've got breast cancer, and she will be very positive about it. But you can tell a single mother with no education from Nkurunkuru, you've got breast cancer, and she will see it purely as a death sentence. Lifestyle factors, income, setting, cultural settings, belief systems, it all plays a role. And we must respect that woman from Ngurunguru who's never really heard about cancer. She's only heard the rumors. Obviously, she will be so frightened because she's worried about the little children. And we need to honor that. And that is why United by Unique is all about, because despite the disparities, the lady from the higher income group perhaps, the woman from Oshakati who has got her master's degree, the retired nurse from Mariaboth who's gone through all of this, we can all come together to help that single mother from Nkurunkuru so she does not feel alone.
I totally love that. Now, taking a look at Africa, what cancers are most prevalent in Africa?
Cervical cancer remains a huge challenge. HIV is a challenge. HPV infection is a challenge. Breast cancer is increasing rapidly, and we need to address that. But it takes political will. It takes governments to say we want national cancer control plans. We want national cancer control programs. We are willing to invest in healthcare. And that is something that we're still fighting with in Southern Africa. Namibia is not unique. We have got access to through our state healthcare system, but policy and legal framework is not in place. And I think that is our biggest challenge. We have in Africa focused for so many years on HIV, tuberculosis, malaria. We've got Ebola, we've got Marburg virus, we've got all these other things. And then all of a sudden cancer is rearing its head. And it is becoming the #1 killer globally in Africa as well. Now, what next?
Speaking of that, I do understand that in Namibia, we just got our first palliative care center. What do you think is the status in terms of cancer care in Africa as a whole?
I have worked in a lot of African countries the last decade. In Namibia, we have access to state healthcare in terms of oncology. And that is something we can be very thankful for. And we must not let it slip out of our hands. So we must keep the Ministry of Health and even me, the Cancer Association, on our toes. But I have dealt with families who have received a diagnosis in some African countries where the medical team says, so this is what you need, all the medication that you need, go out and buy it. Otherwise, you're going to die. I've sat in countries and I've sat with patients through support programs that I've worked on where women, single mothers, need to sell the roof over their head, the animals, and they actually die. And this is so sad because this is even in Kenya. They go through the treatment and then they don't even make it because they got the money together too late, and then the children are left orphan and there's nothing. So the sad part of cancer in the rest of Africa is heavy. The narrative is a whole lot different in Namibia, but it can be better, obviously. We must just not allow Namibia to slip backwards.
I totally agree with that. Now, before I let you go, how will Namibia be commemorating the day, the Cancer Day?
So World Cancer Day today is a wonderful opportunity for us to empower the voice of the patient, and that's what we're doing today at the Cancer Association. We've got a platform where people can come and share their stories, or you can do it on your own. On social media, tag the Cancer Association. We've got a training for volunteers ongoing as we are sitting here, and we are going to be rolling that out again throughout the country. And we really just want to empower and bring everyone together to share that you are unique, and we honor and we celebrate you. And I can speak all I want, but it's your voice as the patient that has the greatest power.
You are unique and we honor and celebrate you. I love this theme. Thank you so much for joining us on Africa Good Morning.
Always a pleasure.
We'll be right back with more Africa Good Morning.
Right, an important conversation indeed as we join hands in commemorating World Cancer Day. This is Africa Good Morning. Let's have a look at the weather predictions before Mike Sichula brings us the stories from Zambia. Now, Zambia's Samuel Mayimbo has launched his bid for the presidency of the African Development Bank. Meanwhile, President Hakainde Hichilema is in Japan currently for a 3-day official working visit. Also, the opposition Patriotic Front has vowed to reclaim the community house if they win the 2026 elections, citing President Hichilema's upgrades to the property with state security features. And in sport, the Football Association of Zambia has set 29 March 2025 as the date for its elective AGM, which will be held in the tourist capital of Livingstone. Here to give us these stories is Mike Sichula in Zambia.
Africa, good morning to our dear viewers. Zambia's Samuel Mayimbo has launched his bid for the presidency of the African Development Bank. Dr. Samuel Mayimbo, who holds senior positions in the Ministry of Finance, has been endorsed by SADC and COMESA. He says 40% of African countries that receive financial support from international organizations such as the World Bank and the IMF are in distress. Dr. Mayimbo says there is need for African countries to consider investing in regional integration in order to open up the market outside the continent. He added that no single market in Africa can thrive on its own. He has since pledged to support African countries' rise to higher heights once he is elected on May 29, 2025. Moving on in my second story, President Hakainde Hichilema is in Japan for a 3-day official working visit. President Hakainde Hichilema is expected to meet the Empire of Japan and also the Prime Minister of Japan. It is expected that during this visit, bilateral relationships between Zambia and Japan will be strengthened further. The president will visit Aichi and Kyoto in addition to Tokyo. Through this visit to Aichi and Kyoto, further developments of the regional exchange between the two countries are expected to be signed. This is the first time President Hakainde Hichilema is visiting Japan since taking office in 2021. In my third story, which is related to President Hakainde Hichilema, the opposition PF says they will grab Community House once they win the elections in 2026 because President Hakainde Hichilema has upgraded it with state security features. Our viewers may be interested to know that since President Hakainde Hichilema won the elections in 2021, he has opted to reside in his private residence instead of the state government, instead of State House, which is owned by the government. This has attracted divided reactions from members of the public, including politicians such as Mr. Given Lubinda, who says once they win the elections in 2026, they will not allow Mr. Hakainde Hichilema to live in the community house because Zambians have invested in it. But State House Chief Communications Specialist Mr. Crayson Hamasaka says the UPND will hopefully give community house to the PF after 60 years. Our viewers may wish to know that it is not illegal for President Hakainde Hichilema to decide to live in his private residence instead of State House. But it is happening for the first time since Zambia became he is the first president to decide to live in his private residence instead of State House. In my last story, which is a sports story, FAZ has set 29th March 2025 as the date for its elective AGM, which will be held in the tourist capital, Livingstone. According to Football Association of Zambia General Secretary Ruben Kamanga, he says this follows a resolution by the association's executive committee during a meeting that was held yesterday. Mr. Kamanga says the setting of the date and venue is in accordance with the elections roadmap earlier announced by the FA. Incumbent Andrew Kamanga is expected to run for his state term, although he has not officially indicated if he is going to seek re-election. On the other hand, 1998 African Footballer of the Year Kadu Shabaria has withdrawn from the race, citing personal and other reasons. This is Mike Sichula in Lusaka, Zambia for Africa. Good morning.
NTV Awards 2025. These are your nominees. Show of the Year. Viewer's Choice Presenter of the Year. Lifestyle Show of the Year. Public Affairs Show of the Year. Sport Show of the Year. Sport Presenter of the Year. My Zone Show of the Year. And Chill Personality of the Year. NTV Awards, celebrating creativity, dedication, and impact. Now, in a bold move to drive economic relief for Nigerians, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has reduced the ex-depot price of premium motor spirit petrol from 950 to 890 naira per litre, effective from Saturday. Anthony Chiajina, the group's chief branding and communications officer, stated this price adjustment is in response to favorable developments in the global energy sector and a significant decline in international crude oil prices. Dangote Refinery's decision reflects its commitment to aligning with market realities and ensuring that consumers benefit from changes in international crude oil prices. Up next, we'll take a look at the latest in economic indicators.
Good day, everyone. Time for international sports news. And starting off with soccer news first, it is the English Premier League that will continue on the 15th of February only. There's going to be 3 different competitions before they continue with the next round. There's been mostly 24 games played by all the teams. It is the lot leader Liverpool that only have played 23 games. They lead with 56 league points at the moment, and Arsenal with 50 points after 24 games. And it is this coming week, it will be English League Cup. It will be the Carabao Cup that will be played. On Thursday, it is Liverpool that play against Tottenham Hotspur at home. And then on Wednesday, it will be Arsenal. They have a game against Newcastle. Also then the following week, or the following weekend, this coming weekend, it will be the FA Cup that continue. It will be the 4th round games that will be played. And then in the week following that, it will be Champions League football again. And then only on the 15th of February that weekend, it will be again lot leaders Liverpool. They will be at home against Wolverhampton. And it will be Arsenal that have a away game against Leicester City. Moving on to golf news, it is Rory McIlroy of Ireland that won in America on the PGA again for the 22nd win for his in his career on the PGA Tour, and he won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am on a total of 21 under par. That will be good news for him on the world rankings. It will most likely taking past Xander Schauffele onto the 2nd position on the world rankings. It will be Scotty Scheffler that will still hang on to his number 1 ranking at the moment. Scotty Scheffler also had a good tournament at Pebble Beach. He was in the top 10. He was tied 9th on a total of 15 under par, closing with a round of 67. The next PGA Tour event will be this coming weekend. It will be the Phoenix Open. That's in Scottsdale, Arizona. And that tournament is known for the stadium-like atmosphere, especially the 17th green that is surrounded by pavilions. And to close off today's international sports news, it is cricket news, and it is England cricket, women's cricket, that's not happy with the result of the Ashes. That is England that played against Australia in Australia. It is the managing director of women's cricket in England, that is Claire Connor, that said there will be an investigation. It was a points system. It was Australia that whitewashed England 16 points to 0. It was 3 one-day games, 50 over one-day games that Australia won all 3 of them, 2 T20 games, international games as well, that Australia won both. And then Australia also won the test match, so it was a clean sweep. And there was accusations about the fitness and also attitude towards the England players, so that will be investigated by Women's Cricket of England. So that's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we'll talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning throughout the broadcast. Let's have a look at some of the highlights. Ramaphosa responds to Trump, says South Africa has not confiscated any land. And Dangote's decisions projected to reduce the cost of living in Nigeria. We are also commemorating World Cancer Day, as well as remembering the legendary Excellency Dr. Hageji Gengob, the late president of Namibia, who passed away on this date last year. From us at Africa Good Morning, swera zvakanaka.